Are you a professional looking for a job? Have you been job searching for quite some time and you're at a point where you're just getting frustrated as to why you're not getting any positive results? I think that you might be missing out on some job search strategies that can help you land your dream role. If that's you, then you're lucky, and keep watching, because in this video, I will be talking about some of the key job mistakes that job seekers are making, especially if they're new in Canada as a new landed immigrant, or if you've been here in Canada for a while and you're transitioning into a brand new role. You're lucky, because in this video, I will be sharing with you 7 key mistakes that you might be making as a job seeker on this journey. Hello, I'm Katrina, and I am a career coach that is passionate about helping immigrants be able to understand some of the top strategies that they can use on their job search and to help improve their careers over their lifetime. And how I do that is I work with individuals and groups in order to provide them with the guidance that they need. If you're near here, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you for watching and liking and sharing with your friends and coming back to see beautiful new videos. We're so passionate about helping you on your journey. And if you're brand new here, thank you for coming on. What I would love for you to do before I get into my video is take time to like, share, and subscribe, and click on the notification bell so that anytime that we provide brand new videos and content, you will be the first one to be notified. I look forward to connecting with you and helping you and answering your questions and your comments. Okay, and now into the video. Job searching can be so overwhelming. There's so many moving parts. And as a job seeker, you might be experiencing some frustration as well as stress. And you might be in the middle of sending out as many resumes, trying to connect with people. One of the things can be that you might be doing all of the steps, but maybe in the wrong order, and you might be overlooking some important steps and strategies that you need to implement in order to increase your job search and get positive results. The reason I say that is, as a job seeker, it's really important for you to avoid making any mistakes so that you can experience positive changes. As a job seeker, it's really important to identify what some of those challenges are and see how you can best correct them. And that's why this video is for you. When you are job searching, there are so many things that can go right or wrong. And it's really important for you to try to identify what are some of the challenges that could keep you from getting a positive result. So let's get into it. Number 1 challenge that you could be experiencing is not having a resume that is adequate and is translated into the Canadian version of a resume that you need in order to be able to get the type of job that you're looking for. Some of the things that could make your resume not stand out and not be picked is if you are including job positions from your past that have absolutely nothing to do with the types of jobs that you're applying for. So you have professional experience that doesn't match up with the type of role that you're looking for, and you've maybe included all of your experience. One of the things you need to know is that you only need to make sure that you're including the exact information that is required for that job role. And so you don't need to include things like things that you did maybe in the beginning of your career, or things that you are totally adjacent to what you're doing. If you're applying for an analyst role, and the analyst role calls for you to be a good communicator, negotiator, and your experience is that of working as a customer success manager, that's perfect. But you don't need to put in your role maybe if you worked in the bank as a teller, right? You might probably want to put in your customer success manager role, because it includes things that are transferable to the role in terms of influencing, in terms of communication, in terms of collaborating with different stakeholders and resolving any conflict. Another example, this one's a little bit of a funny one. If you're looking for a professional role, imagine if you had a role maybe as a dog walker or as a nanny. That might not really match up with the professional administrative type of role that you're looking for. So those are some examples of things that show that it doesn't match with the job position that you're looking for. As part of not having adequate resumes, you might have a resume that has all of the appropriate information that's needed to make sure that you stand out, but you might not have taken time to proofread and go through and make sure that you're using the correct spelling, the correct mechanics, and then also making sure that it matches well with the Canadian way of spelling. Canadian way of spelling is a little bit different than the British way of spelling and a little bit different than the American way of spelling. So make sure you use tools maybe like Grammarly that can help provide you with recommendations in terms of tensing, in terms of maybe run-on sentences or things that make your resume look very unprofessional. Make sure you review it and get a friend or family member to review it for you as well. The second tip that I want to talk to you about is as a job seeker, you might have taken the job search as being something that will be very simple for you to do, and you don't need to do a lot of preparation. So the second tip I want to talk about is, or mistake that job seekers make, is that they don't take enough time to actually plan for and prepare for their job search. If, for example, you've identified your companies and you're reaching out to your companies and you're interested maybe in the telecoms industry or the financial sector, what you might want to do, and this is a mistake that a lot of people do too, is they don't take time to maybe do some research, either on YouTube or on Google, in regards to industry overall. Who are some of the top performers? What is the process of how things are done within that industry, and then also with their customers, and then how they possibly would work. And then they don't also do research about the actual employer that they want to work with. So this means that you might just apply for a job and then you get called for an interview in the next week, and you don't take time to go on the website. You don't try and understand what's their product offering. You don't try and understand who are some of their competitors. You don't try and understand what are some of the tools that they use. There are some great websites that you can use, such as Reddit, where you can ask questions, Slack Overflow, where you can go through and you can see and ask questions that are related to companies. Doing research on Glassdoor as well is also really great. As an example, you can see past questions, you can see what the culture is like, you can see what are some of the things people do on a day-to-day basis, right? So it's really, really important to make sure you take enough time to do research about the industry, about the company, their competitors, and then what are their value propositions and the types of problems that they're solving. Because once you have that information, it makes you stand out as someone that is able to do their research and someone that is able to make sure that things get done properly, which is really important. Anytime you actually don't take time to prepare for an interview, it actually shows up once you're in the interview room. And how is that? It shows up in a way that when they ask you questions about who are they, why would you want to work for us, or even questions about who are some of our top competitors, or even questions about if you were us and you had this organization, what would you do? If you weren't able to answer that, that would show in the interview that you're not prepared and you can't talk intelligently or with a lot of confidence about what you know about the company. The third thing that I want to talk about that is a mistake that job seekers do is the most important one. This one has to do with not actually having a follow-up plan. Whenever you apply to a job, all you do is just wait and wait and wait. You really need to make sure that anytime you apply to a job, you take time to follow up on your application by using some techniques where you can try and reach out to maybe the hiring manager or someone that might be on that team to talk with them, get an idea of the background, get an idea of the environment, get an idea about some of the projects that they're working on, and then see if you can get some status updates on your interview or even your applications, right? That's really, really important. Very, very, very important. The fourth mistake that you might be making as a job seeker is actually not taking feedback and using feedback to improve your job search process. Let me give you an example. If you apply to 10 jobs in a week or over the weekend, and then by Monday or Tuesday, you haven't heard anything back from any of the jobs that you've applied to, that's giving you some feedback. The feedback is maybe telling you something about your resume. Maybe there are things on the resume that's not allowing it to be pulled up in the system. Maybe your application fell to the bottom of the list, right? Or maybe you are using a resume that was outdated and not meeting the requirements. Or you might have even applied to jobs that were past a 1 week time frame. You want to try and apply to jobs that are very, very fresh. But that's type of feedback. That would tell me if I apply to a job on Monday and I didn't hear anything back by Wednesday, that will tell me that I need to either follow up, or that will tell me that I need to either look at my resume, see how I can improve it, get someone to look over it and help me improve it. And then the other thing is, in terms of feedback, if someone reviews your resume and gives you some suggestions of how you can improve it, in terms of maybe using stronger action verbs, using verbs that show leadership, that show initiative, that show that you're passionate and that you're actually a problem solver that gets things done, as an example, and you're using weak verbs that are just talking about your roles and responsibilities and not showing you taking initiative. Someone gives you feedback that you need to have really strong action verbs, and you need to give solid examples of when you've taken leadership, when you solved a problem, right? So if you don't take that feedback and then see how you can improve it and then give it back for a review, that's probably one of the things that's hindering you on your job search. So it's really important to try and ask for feedback from family, from friends, from colleagues, or people that are in the industry and the role that you're looking for, so that they can give you some guidance. The fifth thing or mistake that you might be encountering is you might only be applying to online jobs. That is a very big one. Let me tell you why. Just relying on online jobs is really dangerous. Why? Because if you think about it, right now we're in an area where we're experiencing organizations looking at their bottom lines, and these organizations are looking for ways that they can cut costs. They're doing some layoffs, as an example. If you're only banking on applying to online jobs, that means that you're running the risk of competing with these people that are coming from companies that are really well known, and you're also competing with other people that have been in the job market for quite a long time. And so on average, one application can get anywhere from 200 to 1,000 or 3,000 applicants applying. So you need to find innovative ways that make you stand out. And this means that you need to get out of the house, go and do some networking, or you need to leverage some tools such as LinkedIn to be able to connect with people, get them on a call, and then move ahead, right? And then you also need to use some techniques and strategies that can get you in front of the right hiring managers. Maybe you need to look at your brand, maybe you need to look at your positioning and see, can I be able to share some of my knowledge? Can I be able to share some tips for people that are coming that are just a step behind where you are in your career? Can I build a really great brand that can help me stand out, right? And then another thing is 80% of the jobs are not advertised. So it's through networks, it's through building relationships. That's how people get jobs. Another thing with only applying on online jobs is that you could miss out on opportunities. So think about your overall network. Think about people that are within your industry, people that are adjacent to your industry, either in the vertical or in the horizontal aspect, and see how you can attend events, maybe through Meetup, right? Or webinars or seminars or industry, professional industry sessions as well, so that you can build these relationships. So critical. The sixth point I want to talk to you about is not having a specific job search goal or having a specific job goal that you're aiming for. This is a very big one. One of the mistakes that I see that job seekers make is that they just apply to every and any type of job without sitting down, doing some analysis, understanding what are some of their transferable skills, how do those transferable skills translate, and then what type of jobs can they look for and seek and look towards getting, as opposed to just applying to like administrative jobs, analyst jobs, director level jobs, as an example. Or sometimes they're not even confident to apply to the director level jobs, even though they've been doing that in the past, right? So it's really important to take time and create a really specific and targeted. It's very important to take time to create a very targeted job search strategy. And this is going to be tied in with the role that you're looking for. Very important. So how can you do that? One of the ways that you can improve and reduce this challenge is by trying to identify an industry and then trying to identify some of the key top roles within that industry that fit with your transferable skills, or looking adjacent to that industry. So say, for example, your experience is in healthcare. Think about what are the supporting industries or supporting types of roles that are within healthcare. So it could be maybe looking at supporting the applications that doctors or nurses use. It could be looking at supporting administrative level. It could be looking at supporting maybe the suppliers, the people that provide the equipment or the materials that are used by the doctors and the nurses, right? So you're looking at the verticals and then also the horizontal types of roles, right? And maybe you can look at a supplier of a healthcare unit and then look at maybe insurance, healthcare insurance as an example. So go all the way from hospital to down the pipeline. So just have to think about what industry. Is it going to be vertical? Are you going to go up and down? Or are you going to go horizontal to their suppliers and then the customers of their suppliers? Just ask yourself a number of those types of questions. That will really help you rather than just applying to jobs that have no relevance and they are not even closely aligned to your domain or knowledge or past experience, right? It could be in terms of your experiences in banking, and then you're trying to get a role in healthcare. You can maybe, if your role was as like a customer success manager in a bank, then you might look at being an account manager for the insurance clients or the pharmaceutical clients, as an example, or look at becoming an account rep or analyst that helps the insurance companies manage their applications and the billables or the benefits that employers pay their employees. The number 7th mistake, which is a critical mistake, is, as a job seeker, exaggerating your experience. It's really important never to lie on your resume. What you need to do is really look at your transferable skills, look at the vocabulary, look at the keywords, and try as much as possible to align them together. But never lie. Never say you did this whilst you never did it. One of the challenges that happens with employers is that if you are applying for a role and you indicate that you've done a specific role and you've never done it, that will come out in references. Recruiters will be able to see through, and then also hiring managers will also be able to see through. So try as much as possible to make sure that you're able to align your roles and responsibilities and your references together so that you have opportunities to be provided with not exaggerating your experiences. When it comes to looking at your skills and your experience, one of the ways you can sell yourself is through a cover letter, where you can highlight your transferable skills and how they're a great fit for the type of role that you're looking for based on some of the projects that you worked on, and also based on some of the key deliverables and achievements that you've experienced in the past. And so I would like to round up now and let you know that I'm so grateful that you had this opportunity to listen to this video. And so in summary, what I'd like to say is that it's really important as a job seeker to consider these little 7 mistakes that I've been talking about. I will quickly recap them for you. The first one was not having an adequate resume that was focused to the role and job that you're looking for. The second one was not being prepared for your job search. The third one was actually not following up on your messages or on your applications. This one, as I mentioned, is really important. You need to have a follow-up strategy. The fourth one has to do with ignoring feedback. As a job seeker, you don't want to ignore feedback. Either if you don't get a response or if you get some feedback and someone's taking time to advise you, consider how you can implement that in your way and in your style. Don't just let it go and let it slide. The fifth one is in terms of just applying to online jobs. I mentioned that 80% of jobs are not advertised. So if you're spending time and you're competing with thousands of people, so you need to find ways that you can stand out. The sixth one was not narrowing down your job search and being very specific on the industry or the vertical or domain that was similar to your past experience. The seventh one has to do with exaggerating your skills and experiences. You never really want to do that. And the reason you don't want to do that is possibility of being found out. I really hope that all of these 7 tips will help reassure you and give you some confidence on your job search. And so I would like to end here and say that if you liked this video, please share it with your friends, like it, comment, give your questions, let us know where you are, and let us know if any of these apply to you or you have any additional ones you'd like us to talk about. If you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that you'll be notified anytime that we come on and we provide you with new content. We're so excited to provide you with all of the resources that you need on your career search journey and improving your opportunities here in Canada. And also you can comment if you've ever experienced any of the job search mistakes. When did you realize and what did you do to improve on your job search? Comment down below. We're so excited to hear about your stories and how you came out of it. Or if you're in the midst of it, please take time to connect with us on our socials. We'll be able to help you on this job search journey. Until I come your way, have a fantastic day.